recording. DIGILOGIC is an H2020 project funded by the European Commission, which started in early 2021, and it's coming to an end here in December. The event today is bringing forward our amazing innovators in the area of smart logistics that have been selected to a challenge. We'll hear more from Dr. Stephen Fox later. And that have been worked with us for the last 18 months to some mentorship activities and support for their uptake. Today is their online pitch event where, and we will introduce them later, some jurors here on board to select the 3 winners for amazing prizes, but also for investors that are slowly joining us today in the event. To ensure that they can have a market uptake after our project ends. We will have one by one our innovators pitching in 5 minutes, each of them, and then we'll leave the floor to the jurors to make questions to them and clarification. When we finish the round of pitches, the jurors will have a little bit of time to vote, and then we'll have the award ceremony. And in the meanwhile, I stop talking and I leave the floor to Charlotte from the Digital Hub Management in Dortmund, who's our project coordinator. Thank you, Charlotte.
All right. So I'll just start again. A warm welcome also from my side. Thank you, Margherita. My name is Charlotte Edzard. I work as an innovation manager at the Digital Hub Logistics. We are based in Dortmund in Germany, and we are also coordinating the DIGILOGIC project that Margherita just explained quite well. Yeah, I'm very happy to welcome all of you today, especially our 12 startups that we have now supported for 12 months exactly. I actually just checked, and we started with the boot camp, the kickoff event, exactly 1 year ago, tomorrow actually. So it has been quite an interesting journey. And there has been a lot of workshops, a lot of support, a lot of advice, a lot of consultations from the whole consortium. So I'd also like to thank all the consortium partners who really put in a lot of effort in trying to elevate and support our startup innovators. Yeah, welcome also to our jury. I think they will be introduced just in a bit. And welcome to the investors that also made it today to listen to our startup pitches. And yeah, I think with that, I'd like to give the floor to Stephen Fox, who has been the master of this whole program. And yeah, I'm really very much looking forward to the pitches and to today's event. Thanks.
Good morning. So my name's Stephen Fox. I'm a principal scientist at VTT, the Technical Research Centre of Finland, and I've been coordinating Work Package 4, which has been all about the startups. So many years ago, when I was first in Africa, it soon became very apparent to me that African people are very resourceful and very resilient, and all that they require is a few more resources. And hopefully we've been able to connect them with some resources throughout this year, and I'm hoping we'll be able to do that some more today. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Would you like to spend a couple of words more to explain how we selected these amazing innovators who have been were presenting today?
Yes, so we had an open call for proposals. That was in 2022. That was running from May to August. We had 80 proposals, including 237 participants. 97 of which were female. And we had a 4-step evaluation process of the proposals, the vast majority of which were from Africa. So we have 11 from Africa and 1 from Europe. And we have got a very wide range of startups involved in digital logistics, from, I'd say, Yaka from Zambia, who are addressing the very simple problem that in order to have digital logistics, you need to have an electricity supply. And of course, there is not a reliable electricity supply in vast swathes of Africa, so they're bringing mobile electricity sources so there can be digital logistics. And then we have Auto Truck in Kenya, who are making and retrofitting vehicles so they can be powered with electricity. And then we have Trotro Live in Ghana, who are using the existing Trotro minibuses services and applying digitalization to them to introduce peer-to-peer logistics. So that's just a snapshot of the very broad range of people involved, which also includes, for example, Vinmac, who are working with farmers in many areas that are off-grid. We've got Mwingi, who are delivering where there are no roads. They're delivering produce to villages where there are no roads. So apologies to those who I haven't mentioned yet, but we're going to see all the pitches and we're going to learn more about everybody throughout the day.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I would start introducing our jurors of today. And first of all, I will start with saying thank you for your time. And thank you also for making available these prizes for these innovators, which will also, I think, encourage them in their not easy journey as a startup. I will start from the ladies jurors. So Miss Abir Leheta from Eqytrans. It's nice to meet you again. She's the CEO of Eqytrans, which is a logistic company based in Egypt. So very important as a juror for two reasons: a lady CEO and an expert in logistics in Africa. So somehow for me also a role model here. We met a couple of years ago for a very interesting webinar that we had when the supply chain was really in disruption time. Thank you for being with us. I leave the floor to you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm very, very happy to be here with you today, and excited to see what the startups have done and how they've developed. My name is Abir Leheta. I am the CEO of a company called Eqytrans. We are just about to celebrate our 50-year anniversary. We have been one of the very few transport and logistics listed companies on the stock exchange here in Egypt, and we do a very diverse mix of services, from freight forwarding and haulage to customs clearance, and also project logistics and ISO tank logistics. So I'm also particularly interested in being here because I've taken an interest in transport and logistics startups over the past couple of years. We as Eqytrans sponsored an incubator called Logivators here in Egypt. And so it's very interesting for me now today to see what's being done across Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Abir. Thank you so much. And I will leave the floor to Miss Irina Albanese, who's the head of innovation Middle East and Africa at DHL. I had the pleasure of meeting her in person at the GITEX, where she was presenting logistics and sustainability, and that's how we thought of involving the DHL innovation team in Middle East. To you, Miss Irina.
Hi, everybody. My name is Irina. I'm heading the Innovation Center at the Innovation Drive for Middle East and Africa for DHL, right? We are a logistics company. We are specifically looking for solutions that drive efficiency, security, resilience, and of course sustainability in logistics sphere across all elements, right? Be it express, global forwarding, supply chain, right? All the logistical operations. We're not the only team in DHL that looks into innovation, but we, as a part of the Innovation Center, we are really the ones that are working at the beginning of the innovation tunnel, right? With truly new ideas, with the startups as well. You know, all of you coming from startups, I guess you know how difficult it is to approach an MNC, right? And normal procurement process. So we're trying to make it a little bit easier, right? And be that link between the new ideas, new technologies, driving that early stage POCs, and everything that is kind of has the potential for a bigger scale. Then we work with also our operations to hand it over for further scaling, and we're not, our team is no longer part of it. So it's in a short what we do. We allocated our innovation center teams allocated across all regions. So we, and I will pass it to Obie, are representing Middle East and Africa, but we also have one in Europe, in Germany, where our headquarters are, in Singapore for Asia Pacific, and in Chicago for Americas region. And we very much work very closely as a team. So if there is an idea that comes right from this region but is applicable across the globe, and the company, right, is ready to scale up and provide services in other regions, right? So we are also that avenue that can give that global access and not just the region. I hope I said all the right things. I think what I want to do is to invite also our innovation manager, Obie, who is really the boots on the ground to do all that work, maybe to share some of the thoughts of how we do it, what we are looking for when it comes to startups.
Thanks, Irina. So yeah, hey everybody, my name is Obie. I also work along with Irina at the Dubai Innovation Center for the Middle East and Africa region. Been in the region for over 15 years, been with the company for around 10 years. It's great to be in these kind of forums and get to know what is coming out from the region, because that's exactly what we're trying to also nurture from the region. Trying to understand what is available within different countries, what are the different ecosystems that are available, and how to work closely with them. So great to understand that there are forums like these, and I think the gentleman who started off the call, as he mentioned, I mean, Africa is a continent with a lot of ability or resources. All you need is just a platform, and as an innovation center, that's also what we're trying to provide. So happy to be in the forum, and best of luck for everybody today.
Thank you so much, Obie. And now I would continue with Holger Schneebeck. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly, who is the Global Innovation Manager of DHL, but who's also on the advisory board of DigiLogic. He has been accompanying our project and assisting our project since the very beginning, and we are also grateful and thankful for that. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Margherita, and good morning to everybody. Happy to be here with you. And yes, my name, you have heard it, is Holger Schneebeck. That is how we pronounce it in Germany. And I'm Global Innovation Manager in the DHL Group headquarter, part of the corporate development and corporate strategy team. I'm doing innovations at the DHL Group since, it's about 12 years now. In different roles in several divisions, and now I'm part of a team that is responsible for the automation of operations. So we take care for global innovation inside of our facilities all around the world, all across the divisions like Express, Supply Chain, and so on. And we are working very closely with the innovation centers around the world. Irina has just mentioned them, yeah, one in Troisdorf, in Dubai, Singapore, and one in Chicago. And I'm very curious about your solutions and looking forward to learn from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And last but not least, I will leave the floor to Johannes Franke from Startport Duisburg. Once again, it's not new to us. Startport Duisburg, we were in a webinar before. We are really grateful that you are here as a juror today. Please also tell us a little bit about your innovation program that you run now, because I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. So my name is Johannes. I'm managing director at Startport. Startport is an is an innovation platform and startup program of the Port of Duisburg. Maybe you not know, the Port of Duisburg is the largest inland port in the world, if you're taking the container throughput. And so we are working together with a lot of corporates coming from the port. So besides Duisport, the management company of the Port of Duisburg, we are working together, for example, with Use and Logistics, with Helga Schmidt, Renus, and so following an open innovation approach. So we want to bring together corporates from the port and startups, and fostering innovations. So that's what we are doing basically, and I'm happy to hear the pitches of startups.
Thank you so much. Then we also had as a juror Ms. Abimbola Olufore, who's the head of UNIDO ITPO in Nigeria. Unfortunately, she had a delay. She might join us a little bit later. We are talking with her right now. So we can enter into the core of our program today with the first round of pitches. I recommend our innovators to keep the 5 minutes each, and then there will be some time for the jurors to ask you a few questions. In the first round, we will see and hear from Radava, from Devpol, and from Dunya. So let me try to screen share with Radava.
Here we go. Good morning, everyone. My name is Josephine Adeti. I am the co-founder and CTO for Radava Mercantile. At Radava, we are linking agriculture to the financial markets. Next slide, please. We have been in the market since close to 2 years, and we've been able to trade 550 tons of commodities, creating 45 jobs and serving 1,400 farmers. We have also raised 134,911 euros and generated revenues of 46,457 euros. Next slide. We stumbled upon a problem, which is the fight for fair prices. You see, grain farmers, just like any other traders, are looking for ways to sell their crops at the best prices. On the other hand, consumers are looking to get the best deals. They want to get the lowest prices for the grains that the farmers are producing. So we created a platform that enables both farmers to get best prices for their crops, while consumers get best deals. And on the other hand, investors get the best profits from that. Next slide, please. Take an example of my father. Growing up, I saw him selling his grains at really depressed prices. So only for the prices to rise a few months later. I asked him why he doesn't sell his crops at wait until the prices can at least increase. He said he does not have proper storage, and most importantly, he needed the money immediately. So my father is one of the over 250 million smallholder farmers who have to constantly sell their produce at depressed prices, making significant loss. And all this is due to market inefficiencies, more specifically, price fluctuations. Next slide. At Tradava, we envision to provide farmers like my father with fair prices. We want every farmer to have fair prices for their produce. We are looking forward to having zero hunger and zero poverty. Until then, we do not stop. Next slide. We have created a platform called our Exchange. Our Exchange, we created it to protect agricultural value chain actors against price risk. Next slide. This is how it works. So farmers like my father bring their grains and cereals to a warehouse. And then when they bring the grains and cereals to the warehouse, we check for the quality of the produce. Then we issue them with a receipt. This receipt is the one that we tokenize, and then we exchange it on our exchange platform. So basically, we are a platform that enables people to invest in commodity tokens. Now, the same receipt, my father can use it to access loans of up to 60% of the value of produce that is stored in the warehouse. And the ownership of this receipt can be transferred from one person to the other, just like a land title deed. So when the ownership of this tokenized receipt is transferred to the other person, the ownership of the goods in the warehouse also transfers to the next person. Next slide. So our market potential is big. This is based on the annual demand for grains and cereals. In Africa, it stands at $10 billion. In East Africa, at $2.1 billion. And in Kenya, the market we are serving at $500 million. This is based on the annual demand for grains and cereals. Next slide. We make our money through transaction fees, where we charge 5% for every commodity transacted on the trading platform. And then we also have 10% markup cost on the off-takers. Off-takers include people like institutions, traders who are looking for supply of grains and cereals. Next slide. So we started in January 2022, and we're looking to diversify our commodity portfolio by October 2024. Also, in February, we are looking to have our exchange platform licensed by CMA. Next slide, please. What makes us different and better is that we offer transparent and credible transaction, and also farmers get fair prices for their produce. And most importantly, it gives farmers access to finance. Next slide. So we are a team of 7. This is the core team. I serve as the CTO. Together, we have a combined experience of 40 years in leadership, business management, legal, and tech. Next slide. And right now, we are raising $600,000. Next slide. This will enable us to transact $50,000 in monthly revenue by transacting 2,000 tons of commodities every month and serving at least 10,000 customers. Our projected year-to-year growth is 25%. Next slide. Thank you. Join us as we try to make money work for every farmer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josephine. Well done. And now we move on to DevPal. Let me open their presentation.
Thank you. My name is Gabiso Kingsley, and I'm the co-founder of DevPal. Next slide. At DevPal, we launched our prototype application, and within 18 months, we achieved the following result. We're able to process $17 million in sales with 5 active customers having 17 build locations. And during this prototype period, we made $3,000+ in revenue. Next slide. The supply chain inefficiencies in Africa cost Africa about $3.7 billion. That's according to an IMF report. And that report indicates that the supply chain inefficiencies in Africa are about 7 to 12% of Africa's GDP. And these inefficiencies come as a result of fragmentations within the supply chain that lead to lack of transparency and limited access to finance and inefficient processes. Next slide. Now, these problems in the supply chain lead to low customer satisfaction because goods and services did not arrive on time, low productivity because production stages cannot be managed efficiently. Businesses run out of raw materials and stock and cannot continue with their core activities. And then a lot of the market players, SMEs, have restricted markets, which is only limited to their catchment areas where they operate. A lot of the African businesses as well do not have access to finance, which is a lot of them are not able to make or receive payment other than cash. Next slide. Now, this is our vision for the supply chain in Africa. We foresee a holistic and more predictable supply chain. And this is how we envision that coming in play, that our solution should be available on a more accessible device across all platforms. And we intend to achieve this through a hybrid cloud-based infrastructure, which would then allow African businesses to have access to their data, whether there is internet or not. If there is internet, the data is processed to the cloud, and then the transaction is real time. When the internet is cut off, the data offline is available on the device, whether mobile or computer. And our solution allows for collaborative work between one, within the SMEs themselves, and two, the SMEs and their stakeholders like customers and suppliers. Next slide. Now, our solution is called RIMDEX, and RIMDEX is a digital workspace that provides a set of tools to allow SMEs in Africa to do the following. One, to standardize their operations to ensure that they have a guaranteed quality of operations all year round. And two, to streamline production processes. So with the RIMDEX solution, SMEs in Africa are able to customize their production processes within the system and track production levels and production stages at the end of each day. With that, they are able to then, they will have complete visibility over the supply chain process, knowing the demand from the market and understanding the raw material level at their warehouse to be able to then order raw materials to fulfill orders effectively. RIMDEX also allows these African SMEs to access markets. That is, there's an added online platform that allows the companies, one, to take the orders across the world. So wherever you are in Africa, you can buy from your fellow SME in Africa, and then you can buy from your fellow SME in Africa. This then increases their market beyond their catchment area, their local catchment area. And then we have included a payment processing solution in the product, which allows which gives them the capability to be able to now take payments other than cash and take payment from multiple platforms. And by this happening, we are able to now track and know how much these SMEs are collecting, one, in terms of payment, and then we can offer financial services like credits to these SMEs. Next slide. Yes. Our typical customer is Albanese company. Albanese company is one of the over 5 million SMEs in Ghana. Albanese specifically produces household products in Ghana, and it's a free zones company, which means that they are allowed to produce in Ghana and then export 90% of their produce out of the country. But the key problem they face, one, is the fragmentation of the supply chain, which means that they look at a different tool to, one, manage their procurement, and then they think of a different solution to manage their warehousing. There's a different solution that then helps them to manage their production. What they try to do with the production is to use Microsoft Excel, and then in a few months' time, the data cannot be found. And what it means is that when order comes, they are not able to tell readily how much products they have to fulfill orders. So at visiting Albanese with a period of times, you realize that they are always in a scramble when a big order comes, because they probably have run out of the raw materials required to produce, or they are not able to tell immediately the available inventory to supply. Next slide. Now, with RIMDEX coming on board, this is how we envision the supply chain. The first up there is the traditional supply chain system, which means that you go to the shop because they only operate within their physical catchment area. They go to the sales location, make the order. It takes a number of days or a day or two. The order is then the warehouse. The warehouse then processes the order, takes it to the manufacturer's warehouse. The manufacturers, that also take a day or two. The manufacturer's warehouse then sees that, okay, probably we've run out of inventory. And then they are contacting the manufacturer, which is Albanese. Albanese realizes that no, the raw materials to produce the inventory is no longer available. Then they are contacting their supplier in China. And their supplier in China says that it's going to take a number of days for the raw materials to arrive. And then they are in a scramble for time in order to be able to meet these orders. This is how the typical supply chain looks like in Africa. But with the coming on board of RIMDEX, what happens is RIMDEX is up and running all the time. Once the order is taken at the storefront, right, the order is uploaded to the database, and everyone in the chain, which is from the retail warehouse to the manufacturer's warehouse to the production manager, they are all able to see the order that has come in. And quickly, the software algorithm is able to tell that based on this quantity of order, whether the raw materials are whether there is enough inventory to fulfill that order, or there is enough raw materials to be able to then produce the backup. Alternatively, the system is able to then trigger, saying that I have learned from your 1 year of operations to know that in a specific month like January, there is enough demand. So your current raw material and your current inventory will not be able to meet your demand for the upcoming month. So the system then triggers a request whether you want to order new products and new raw materials. Next slide. Yes. This is the market. We provide a marketplace solution to these businesses, which means that they all are able to sell beyond their traditional catchment area. Next slide. Now, this is the market size for supply chain systems in Africa. Now, Africa's e-commerce size is over 2 billion. And that is because, one, we have the numbers, and two, the market is relatively untapped. This is what we are able to provide to our customers, and we are able to take a share of this. Africa's supply chain finance market size has been estimated by Edzard to be about 41 billion. Collectively, the total supply chain size is 48 billion, and DESPA is seeking to have 1% of this by our 10th year. Next slide. This is our roadmap. So we want to be able to put out a full prototype by the first quarter of 2024, and proceed to have an MVP by the second quarter of 2024. By the third quarter, we want to achieve a payment processing license to give us control about how we can then help these African SMEs to process payments and to collect payment, and be able to provide them financial solutions in the subsequent years. By March 2025, we want to be able to expand beyond operations in Accra to all over Ghana. Next slide. Yes. Now, what differentiates us from the competition currently is that currently most of these competition work in silos. So they are providing a solution for managing inventory, and that is all they do. The others are providing a solution for managing just your bookkeeping and accounting, and that's what they do. And then there are payment processors providing solution for just managing your payment. But with the solution of Rimdex, we are providing a holistic supply chain solution, which means that once you are using our solution, there should be no need to go outside the system to perform any function. Next slide. Now, in the short term, this is how we expect to make money. In the short term, we want to sell the software as a service. And that has been categorized into 5 different services. The silver, which allows you for get basic inventory management solutions. The gold, which then adds on to the basic inventory management solutions to add bookkeeping and accounting. The platinum service, which then includes payroll management, HR management, so that you can now manage employees. And then the diamond, which then gives you everything within the system, including managing production and then managing your vendors. Now, in the long term, we'll have enough customers to be able to now make added revenue on the financial services that we provide. Next slide. Our 3-year revenue, we estimate to make about $50,000 in the first year, and $200,000 in the second year, and $450,000 in the second year. This is based on the subscription that we provide. Next slide. Yes. So we currently have a 3-man leadership team with Stephen providing us scientific advisory services. Next slide. Yes. What we are looking for is $150,000 investment for 10% equity, and this will allow us, 1, to complete the development of our solution, and 2, to run our operations for the next 3 years, and then be able to put some effort into sales and marketing. Now, as part of this process, we want to experiment owning a hardware of our own, so that we can have total control in how we manage the data, as in for the device to be able to sync the data directly to our cloud database, to make room for our environment in Africa, which comes with a lot of instability with connectivity. Next slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Kingsley. Move on to Dunia is next.
Thank you so much, Margherita. My name is Wansa Chalo from Dunia Healthcare, and I'll be presenting you about Dunia Healthcare, which is a smart logistics platform for a healthy Africa. So let's quickly look at the numbers as we start. Margherita, you can go to the next page, please. One of our key things that we look at Dunia Healthcare is profitability with purpose, or as most people say, doing well by doing good. And so when you quickly look at the numbers, we launched our product in April this year, but so far we've grown over 2,000% in terms of revenue growth numbers. And also we've moved $300,000 worth of medicine on our platform in terms of gross merchandise value. On a monthly basis, we're moving in excess of $60,000 worth of medication, and have so far delivered and made orders of over 1,000 orders on our platform. But the real exciting bit for me is the next part, which is our cost of acquisition, which is currently sitting at $50 per customer. But the lifetime value of each of our customers is over $4.3 million. That's amazing. And we're quite excited about that because it shows the level of profitability we can have over time. We've also signed an MOU with the Catholic Church that is worth over $10 million. Again, doing well by doing good. And I'm going to present to you an opportunity, an investment opportunity of over $500,000. Let's go to the next slide. But how did we get here? So a quick background. In 2000, right at the turn of the millennium, my mother, who is a nurse, had decided to quit her job to start her own private clinic. And 4 years later, she also started her own retail pharmacy. So as I was growing up, my siblings and I would always help her out running the two facilities, and she would usually send myself and my brother to go and pick up medicines from wholesalers, to go and purchase and restock medicine for the different facilities she was running. And so I saw firsthand the inefficiencies of the supply chain system of pharmaceuticals in Africa. But the real turning point for me was this year in January, when I had a chat with one of the Catholic sisters that is managing a rural health facility in Monze, which is southern part of Zambia. She told me about a story of a young girl named Chipego who had gone to her facility. Chipego was 17 years old, heavily pregnant and sick. Despite the fact that they could see all the signs and symptoms of malaria, they could not do a malaria diagnosis test because they had run out of test kits. And she told me that even if they had managed to do the diagnosis test, they did not have the malaria medication because they had ordered it a month before, but it had not yet been delivered. 3 days later, Chipego and her unborn baby died. When I listened to this story, I remembered the struggles that I used to have trying to run operations for my mother's clinic and retail facility as well. And I thought to myself, how is this still a problem 20 years later? But when you look at the number, 3.5 million Africans currently die due to lack of access to medicines. 3.5 million lives that die needlessly and senselessly due to inefficiencies in the logistics of pharmaceutical products. And 60% of the price to patients of all medicines in Africa is all logistic costs, which gives you an idea of how inefficient the entire system is. It's inefficiency on inefficiency on inefficiency. And that's the problem we're trying to solve. Next slide, please, Margherita. Our mission as Dunia Healthcare is to build Africa's future healthcare ecosystem that no one has dared to build. And that's why we need that courageous innovation. Next slide, please. Currently, we run an online platform. We're basically a B2B marketplace that connects retail pharmacies to pharmaceutical wholesalers and manufacturers. On our online platform, the retail pharmacies and health facilities are able to make orders of their medicine, and we get to deliver to their doorstep for free. This saves the facility over 800 labor hours that they can now divert into more important healthcare services to their patients. So on our platform, the retail pharmacies quickly order the stock that they need, and we deliver to their doorstep, all for free. Next slide, please. As I had indicated earlier on, after I had the conversation with a sister from the Catholic Church, we had figured that this problem they have is currently a national problem, if not a continental problem. The Catholic Church has over 74 facilities across the country, and all of them do their own individual procurement. And we proposed to them to establish and design a hub and spoke model for them. And we have already signed an MOU for them to streamline the supply chain of medicines to all their 74 facilities using a hub and spoke model of supply chain. And once successful, the Catholic Church wants us to replicate this model in Kenya and Uganda. And it is worth over $10 million currently with the contract that we have. Next slide, Margherita. the healthcare market in Africa is one of the few markets that is growing at a rapid pace. In a good year, it's going north of 80% in terms of annual growth. And currently, it's an $85 billion market in Africa. In Zambia alone, we're talking about a $600 million market in terms of public and private pharmaceutical industry. But for the private industry alone, which is what we're currently tackling, it's worth over $240 million. Next slide, please. But how's our competitive landscape? Currently, we are the only ones that are able to give free delivery, inventory management, on-demand marketplace, and non-restrictive procurement. Non-restrictive procurement is the key aspect of what we're currently doing. Most of these other platforms and solutions that are on the market, like M-Pharma, will give you a franchise model, which basically locks you up in terms of how you run your operations. But we tell the facilities that we don't want to get into your operations. We just want to streamline how you do your procurement and supply chain. And that's what makes us different. Next slide, please. Our financial model is a 10% commission for all the products that are ordered and delivered through our platform. And we specifically charge this commission rate to the wholesalers because the wholesalers have on average, over 50% net margins on medicine, and they are able to take up that 10% margin that we're currently getting as commission for all the products that are moved onto from our platform. Next slide, please. Our commission obviously ensures that our product is sustainable in the way that we are delivering and streamlining the supply chain of pharmaceutical products. Our projections for next year is that by end of 2024, we should have moved over 3.8 million worth of products on our platform and made a net revenue of over 345,000 with net margins of over 25%. For all the products moved on our platform. Next slide, please. To be able to do this, we have an amazing team. I call this the A team because we're a team of former founders. We've all managed and founded different companies before. So this is not our first rodeo, as we say. Myself, Mwansa Chalo, a health economist. This is my third startup that I'm running. Wamulume used to run a logistics company that used to work in climate smart solutions in the rural areas. So it comes on with an amazing pedigree of logistics experience. Charles Mwanza, who's our software and CTO, he was the first person to set up an accelerator program that taught over 5,000 young people how to code in Zambia. And that's why I call us the A team. Next slide, please. The current investment opportunity and our ask for us to catalyze this change that we're talking about is a $500,000 in pre-seed fundraising that we're currently doing at 1.5 million market capitalization. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to take any feedback and questions as well from the judges. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chalo. And now the floor is to our juror members for questions to the three innovators that presented so far.
Hi, I'd like to ask a question of Kingsley. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. On the chart when you were showing the time saved and the efficiency that's going to be produced, I'm just curious, how will the product flow time be reduced? I can understand that the information is going to flow more quickly, but why do you think the product flow is going to be impacted by your application?
All right, thank you. So the information flow adds up to the delay. And what it means is that because the systems are fragmented, you will need to work in different systems to pull the data together. And the inefficiencies in the systems will mean that you don't have a complete command over the level of one, your inventory, and then your raw material. So this is what creates the difficulty. But once the information flow is quite straightforward, and then the algorithms to now detect your reorder levels and all those things, we expect the time to be the time to be cut significantly. And we come to this. So both myself and my co-founder are accountants. So we understand the concept of inventory management, reorder levels, reorder quantities, and all these things. But then a lot of the guys who are in this field have come with the idea that yes, we are engineers and we can put together a system like this. And they are not able to include some of these principles in their algorithm to help the businesses make these decisions. And that's the advantage we bring to the team.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Holger.
Can you hear me? Great, fantastic. Thank you very much. Yes, my question goes to Dunia Healthcare, Mr. Charlo. Thank you very much for your presentation. This is a fantastic idea. I love it. I like it. It's really fantastic. And I'm really, really impressed that you have selected the church as a partner and multiplicator for your ideas. This is super fantastic. Great idea. I have one tiny question, and my question is, how do you want to realize the cost-free transport of all the medicine? Can you explain this a little bit better? It would be great.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's a great question, Holger, and I love that it's coming from DHL, because the next part I'm going to talk about transportation. I know that DHL has done some of the model I'm going to talk about. So currently, what we've been doing for the local distribution right now, we've just been distributing in Lusaka, which is the capital city of Zambia. We've been using auto rickshaws, which are 3-wheelers. And they are greatly efficient in terms of movement of products. That's what we're currently using. And in terms of costing, it's currently just costing us about 0.5% of the total value of the medication that we're moving. So that's the cost of transportation that we have. We have plans, and I've discussed within the team, to go fully electric, and those are the things that we're looking at. And that's why I said we know that DHL had some rickshaws in Europe that they were using to do deliveries, and somebody had showed me some of the pictures from Czech Republic. And so it's quite exciting for us to explore how to best make it more cost effective for the retailers and the wholesalers as well. Yeah, I don't know if that answers the question, Holger. Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good first start. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Obie.
Apologies, I'm just having a bad throat. So I've got two questions. One is for Dunia Charlo. Let me go on with that first. So first of all, great storytelling. I mean, you presented really well. We were able to resonate with the cause of why you're doing this. Followed through the whole presentation. However, I do have a concern, or maybe if you can explain a bit more about your costing part. You mentioned that you guys make money by you basically take 10% of your total revenue, right? That is where you make the money. My question is, 10% of your revenue adds on 10% to the end consumer, right, in terms of their pricing. So when you're talking about medication, and especially providing medication to the vulnerable or the poor and needy people, aren't we talking about increasing the cost of medicines by 10% overall for them?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, Obie. And just before I answer it, let me just re-emphasize your point, and that is, we're trying to solve the problem of access to medicine, and access to medicine is twofold, right? One of it is availability of medicine. Are medicines available for the patients, for the poor? The second part is affordability. Are the medicines affordable for the people? And the second part is quite key for us. That is why even in our model, when we're looking at how do we build our financial model and how do we monetize what we're trying to do, what we decided to do is we currently charge 10%, not over the cost of the medicine, but as commission to the wholesalers. So it doesn't increase the cost of the medication. But what we basically tell the wholesalers is, we're going to take over your sales, okay? Because we're giving you market access to a network of retail pharmacies and health facilities that we have. And we're also going to take over your logistics, which is the transportation of the medicine. And for that, we're charging you 10% commission for all the products that move on our platform. So if paracetamol, if a wholesaler is charging maybe $10 for paracetamol, for argument's sake, we are going to charge the retailers the same 10%, the same $10 to the retailers. They'll buy it at the same amount of 10%, but we'll charge $1 to the wholesaler for the distribution and movement of products on our platform as commission. So for the retail pharmacies and the health facilities, they don't get to spend on logistics. They don't get to spend on transportation, because then we reduce their cost of managing their business. And we're hoping that in the long term, they'll be able to pass on that benefit to the patients now by reducing the price of the medicine. So that is something that is key for us. So I don't know if that helps you understand, Obie.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that kind of clears part of my doubt, which is basically if the end consumer has to bear it, which as per what you explained, the end consumer doesn't have to bear that cost. However, there is still somebody who is bearing that cost, who is the wholesaler. He's still losing out 10% of his share, which he was supposed to get. So maybe not to take time off from everybody, maybe just a suggestion. Possibly think of other ways of doing your costing, not having a fixed percentage out of the total revenue, but rather having costs based on your actual spend. So that's a bit on the same tangent on what Holger was also asking, how are you arranging for your logistics? I mean, what are your costs that you're actually incurring over there, and maybe charge based on fixed costs on certain routes. You can optimize your network, and accordingly, you can charge for the services that you provide, rather than tying it to the entire revenue of the whole amount of medicine that you guys are providing. That's just a suggestion from our side. Just one more question on to Josephine.
Thank you.
Again, Josephine, also really great initiative, purpose-driven, and that's really excellent. Even as DHL, we are also actually exploring these opportunities where we can reach out to the end farmers and facilitate their trades and so on and so forth. Out of curiosity, I mean, you mentioned that you guys are monitoring how the trades are being done, exchanges are being done. I mean, what is the technology that you plan to use over here to ensure that there is no forgery and everything actually works? I mean, with clear visibility and so on and so forth. Have you looked at blockchain or any of those kind of technologies to be imbibed over there?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, we use blockchain when the receipts that are offered by when a farmer deposits their commodities, the receipt is a digital token, and then it's based on a blockchain, so it can ensure transparency and traceability, among other benefits. So now that happens on the digital platform. Yeah.
And how do you see that picking up in your country? I mean, blockchain is still fairly a new technology in certain countries and certain economies. So how do you see the acceptance of this kind of technology over there?
The uptake is good. Actually, Kenya is one of the among the few countries in Africa that are leading in terms of technology and blockchain. But the uptake is mostly not the blockchain one, but the offer that we offer, what the commodity tokens can offer, both for the farmer and for the investors and the off-takers. So they are mostly purchasing based on the value that you offer to them. In terms of in terms of the blockchain technology, they still are trying to see how it can benefit them, because as for the off-takers, we've realized they just want a produce that is continuously available and it's of high qualities. For the investors, they just want money. When they invest, they need at a certain time, we need to get our money back. And for the farmers, they need to sell their produce at a good price. So they're more interested in the solution, actually, what it does for them, more than the technology behind it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Johannes, do you have any question? We
Yes.
still have a couple of minutes.
Yes, thanks for the pitches. Just one question to Kingsley from DevPel. How do you getting the data from the supply chain points, the different supply chain points? Do you want to use any interfaces, or I think, in my opinion, that's the crucial point to getting the data in the supply chain.
Yes. So we allow the system allows the SME one to basically just state their supply chain in the system. So to say that one, my supplier is, say, is Anglo Gold. So you list Anglo Gold in your system as a supplier, and my customer is probably Zara, right? And all the different breakdown, and then we have a production management system that then allows you to break down the production stages of your product, so that data is then taken from each stage. So it is there's a computer software for each stage of the chain, so that you are able to then input the data. Anglo Gold, you get an order from Zara, and Zara says that I need 10,000 pieces of this level of ring with the design, and then the algorithm looks at your inventory and says that you don't have that, and then looks at your raw material and says that you don't have enough, and quickly sends a message to your supplier. And then the supplier is able to respond to you all within the system to say that I can give you this level of raw material within this time. And the discussion with pricing and payment, everything is happening in one solution. So there's a thing about internet connectivity. So when the data is passed on from any of the players within the supply chain, right, it goes straight to the cloud database. And then if once connectivity is restored at any point, the data syncs down to the local computer. And then if you lose connectivity, that data remains available on your local computer all throughout the chain. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Irina, is there any question from your side to our innovators?
I'm also actually quite interested in the model for the pharmacy, right? Direct pharmacy deliverables, right? What you said, it's a free transportation. I guess it's not free, right? I guess you're just financing it through the margin. But yeah, and my question would be: are you doing temperature controlled transportation as well, and how are you managing that? Because it's truly not easy, right, to do temperature controlled deliveries.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, and we are currently for the MVP model that we've been using for local deliveries. We've just been using refrigerated boxes for us to move the cold chain deliveries that we're currently doing. But the idea is for us to, and that's why we are currently fundraising, to refrigerate all of our delivery trucks so that they have temperature controls and put in mechanism that is able to manage different types of temperatures and different types of medication that we're moving. It's been okay so far with the local deliveries that we're doing in the capital city, but for it's going to become critical next year as we begin to roll out deliveries for the Catholic Church, which is nationwide, because then the distances are much longer and we need to manage those temperatures. So currently we are going to outsource the delivery of the medicines into the rural areas because we don't yet have the delivery capacity within Dunia. Yeah.
Will you be still able to make your margins? Because if you outsource that, right, that part, it's not much left, right?
Yeah, it's going to eat a little bit into our margin, but that's why specifically for the Catholic Church, we're doing a double model in terms of revenue generation. So each of the facilities is going to be doing a subscription to the platform, a monthly subscription. It's a small amount compared to what they're currently spending in terms of delivery and transportation, plus the 10% as well from the wholesalers. Then all of that would be able to give us the accurate margins for us to deliver to the rural areas as well. But the best part about the distribution we're doing for the rural areas is that it's streamlined. So whereas like when you're going to the north, they have over 20 facilities in the northern part of Zambia. Instead of those individual ones coming to Lusaka and spending transportation to come and pick up stuff, we're going to be using one truck and load it with all of the medicine, and then it just goes and drops off at each of those facilities, which makes it significantly cheaper and more efficient in terms of transportation. So it will still be a lot cheaper.
So like what I hear, right, you have your own fleet, right? You're actually owning your fleet and now want to get the cold chain capability for your own fleet. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. We completed the first round of pitches and questions from the jurors. We started with the pitch round 2 with the Pharmasphere. Joseph, I let you share your screen and start your presentation. Recommendation, let's try to keep it within the 5 minutes as agreed. Joseph is, you're still muted, Joseph?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Maybe you want to switch to presentation mode?
I'm going to do that.
Power.
Great.
Perfect. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Ante Joseph. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Pharmasphere. At Pharmasphere, we are taking fresh foods from farm to table. We identified 2 major problems, which includes post-harvest loss and poor food quality. We recognize that over 80% of food worth about $4 billion are actually lost to post-capture losses annually in Africa. And this is tied to low access to market. We also identified poor food quality, which are normally tagged to use of harmful chemicals as preservative, poor product handling, and inefficient product logistics. We came out with a solution, 3 major steps to solving this problem. At Pharmasphere, which is actually a digital fresh food delivery company, which utilizes dehydration and smart refrigeration technologies in preserving and supplying fresh foods, vegetables, and seafoods from urban farms to urban cities and foreign markets. We came out with 3 unique solutions, which includes a farmers portal, where we partner with farmers to offtake their products and provide them with pickup services, and as well as a dehydration and refrigeration aspect in our e-commerce website, which customers can be able to order products from. In our farmers portals, what we do is that we onboard farmers. For example, this is Farmer Femi. We onboard Farmer Femi on our farmers registration portal. He requests for pickup for his products, either a fresh seafood or vegetable or fruit. And after picking up, we actually schedule a pickup with him. The pickup is confirmed and we pick up the product. Also, in terms of our fresh food delivery web app, we also ensure that the customer can find products, order and subscribe, and it gets delivered to his or her doorsteps within 2 working days. In terms of our delivery system, we've been able to create an iSmart delivery box, which utilizes IoT to optimize delivery, ensures that the temperature of the food in this box is actually monitored, as well as we track the food quality and we automate the product chilling. And it also gives real-time data on food quality. Precisely now, we have two models of our delivery box, the one that utilizes PETL technology and the other one that utilizes just normal compressors with battery to be able to run the system. We also have a delivery service, a dehydration facility where we aggregate food items, we process them, and we package them for local and export market. What's our impact in terms of people on the planet? One is actually safe and high quality farm foods, zero exploitation of farmers, zero food waste in terms of foods that pass through us, and also higher income for farmers and higher savings for consumers who utilize our system. In terms of our competitive analysis, we make use of a data-driven delivery model, traceability, refrigerated and dehydrated delivery model that is actually devoid of harmful preservative, as well as our seamless user interface of our web platform, which we are currently rebranding with the assistance from VTT, and also affordability of our product, as well as flexible fresh food subscription model. Our ask is actually $50,000, and most of this fund is actually going to be channeled to our working capitals, whereby we can be able to pay farmers about 50%, color the product, process it, and send it before it gets back. Also, in terms of our delivery boxes, 1.5% is going to go into acquiring more delivery boxes to be able to ensure that we carry more product, as well as 0.5 in terms of our regulations and registrations. In terms of our financials, we anticipate after the cash injection to actually improve our revenue, and within 12 months to do about $644,000 in revenue in 2024. In terms of our market relevance and also the market value, our market value is worth about $46.8 billion annually. And this is the total addressable market in Nigeria urban household alone. Nigeria boasting of a population of over 200 million people. We actually have a serviceable obtainable market of about $88 million annually, in which we hope to actually capture this serviceable obtainable market between the next 5 to 10 years. In terms of our business model is actually unique. We offer the mini, the media, and the maxi bundle. And the mini and the maxi bundle comes based on size. Also, we have a custom bundle. The custom bundle actually refers to a bundle that the customer actually wants for us to actually deliver to him or her. We intend to capture about 1,150 subscribers, which will help us to generate over $64,000 in revenue within the next 12 months. In terms of our traction so far, we've onboarded over 100 farmers and 50 seafood harvesters. We've increased farmers' income by 25%. We launched our e-commerce web app in 2020, which gained over 120 customers, but currently being revamped in partnership with the EU DIGILOGIC, which is the program. Also, we launched our iSmart Solar Power Delivery Box. We currently have 4 numbers. We started with 2, which utilized PETL technology. We actually added 2 more after the program with VTT, in which we are connected to one of the coaching experts, and we actually launched those 2 using compressors. So one of the difference we noticed with using the compressors and the PETL is that the PETL just achieves a cooling of about 6 degrees Celsius, while the compressor takes it above that to about 0 degrees Celsius, thereby helping us to retain more quality for our fresh food delivery. We generated, we started in 2020, we generated just about $4,400 in revenue. And currently now in 2023, we've done over $100,000 in revenue from sales. Our processing factory and product assembly point currently in Rivers State, Nigeria, is 89% in completion state, and we have partnership with various small stores where we supply this food to be able to ensure that we bridge the gap between Africans in the diaspora getting the foods that they want and they intend to use for themselves and for their households. This is our team. Our team comprises of Mene Blessing as an advisor, as well as Dr. Helen Omore. They too have a combined experience of over 35 years. And I myself, Joseph, as co-founder and CEO, and Ayoshi, co-founder and COO, Oyewale, co-founder and project manager, and Eqytrans, who is the chief technology officer. With this, we encourage and we want you to join us to transform the fresh food industry, impact the lives of farmers, and provide more fresh food from farm to table. We welcome you to join us as we achieve this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joseph. I would call on stage Instadriver.
Thank you, Margherita. Hello, I'm Eric, co-founder of Instadriver. Instadriver is a driver employer marketplace and a software as a service fleet management solution for transport businesses in the gig economy. Next slide, please. Meet Cover. He's a driver. Cover is struggling to find a job. Cover, like many other jobless drivers, relies on inefficient platforms such as social media and friends to find a job. Cover is not comfortable using LinkedIn. He perceives LinkedIn to be a platform for highly educated professionals, managers, software engineers, etc. Next slide, please. On the other hand, transport businesses use inefficient solutions such as social media and expensive recruitment agencies to recruit competent drivers. These solutions have limited database, resulting in suboptimal hires and delayed recruitment of ideal candidates. Vehicle owners want to monetize their vehicles in the ride-sharing space. On the other hand, sorry, Margherita, go back to the previous slide. Okay, vehicle owners want to monetize their vehicles in the ride-sharing space, incur high cost of maintenance and loss of revenues due to misuse of vehicles and non-collection of agreed rental fee. Next slide. To solve this, we have built a driver employer matching marketplace where transport businesses can hire competent, verified, and vetted drivers at a low fee easily. We have also built a software as a service fleet management solution for gig partners to streamline their fleet operations. Next slide. So we have the two products. On the left, we have the drivers app. Here, drivers are able to create their professional profiles. Employers can then view these profiles and hire the best candidate for the job. On the right, we have the partners app. Here, the partner is able to view his earnings, monitor the geolocation of the vehicle, and access the maintenance history of the vehicle, plus access funds via an e-wallet. Next slide. We are addressing a $6.4 billion market size. Looking at the gig markets in Africa, we have more than 500 drivers in the ride-hailing space in a market that is growing at a rate of 16.6 compound annual growth rates. Next slide. We charge $40 for local driver placement and $800 for overseas placement. Self-recruiters who want to recruit for themselves pay a one-off fee of $25. Gig partners pay a monthly subscription of $10 per month per vehicle to use our fleet management solution. Our plan is to onboard 50,000 vehicles by the year 2025, which will give us an annual revenue of $6 million. Next slide. Sorry. So we have launched 3 apps. We have a drivers app, a partners app, and a fleet managers app. So far, since our launch, we have onboarded 15,000 drivers and currently have 150 active vehicle monthly subscriptions, which have given us an accrued revenue of more than $6,200 to date. Next slide. We have specialized in a specific market niche, giving us the ability to offer superior services and maintain a competitive edge. Next slide. Our team has complementary skills and over 10 years of experience in the mobility sector. Next slide. We are raising $250,000 to build traction, upgrade our technology, and bring on board key hires. Next slide. Our plan for the next year is to sign up 100,000 drivers, build and launch maintenance and AI-powered driver matching features, and of course, bring on board 20,000 cars on our platform. We're also looking to have $400,000 worth of monthly revenues by the end of the year 2024. Next slide. Join us on this exciting journey and help us build the world's first, biggest driver employer marketplace. Thank you. Thank you, Margherita.
Thank you, Eric. Well done. And next on stage will be Trotro Live.
My name is Michael Vigneault Adai. I am presenting for Vinmark Farms and what we are doing with smallholder farmers. Next slide, please. In 2022, nearly 30% of the world population were food insecure. This is by the World Food Organization, and it's caused by poor yield, post-harvest losses, and market challenges smallholder farmers face that contribute to a global challenge of food, nutrition, and income insecurity. And most of the people that suffer are women and young people, especially in northern Ghana. Next slide, please. So we are focusing on women smallholder farmers that are in hard-to-reach communities in northern Ghana that are in need of farm input, information, services, and guaranteed markets, working with input dealers, service providers, and grain aggregators. Next slide. This presents a huge opportunity for Vinmark to make a difference. Next slide, please. And this opportunity, we are using it to help smallholder farmers increase yield and also reduce post-harvest losses through a platform we developed called FarmStore. And FarmStore enables access for smallholder farmers to information, mechanization services, farm input, and market platform along the agri value chain. Please, next slide. The market potential in Ghana is estimated at $10 billion, and that of Africa is $280 trillion. Next slide. We make money through the sale of inputs, sale of grains. Next slide. We are projecting that by 2027, we'll make a revenue of $1 million through expanding our services and then also serving more smallholder farmers. Next slide. Yes, there's competition in the market. However, our holistic approach to solving the problem set us apart. Next slide. Our numbers. Year-on-year revenue growth is 80%. And then we have a total of 1,000 smallholder farmers. And then our start-to-date revenue is $55,000. Please, next slide. We are currently at the pilot stage. We are estimating that by May 2024, we'll launch our MVP and then also start a vigorous product marketing. By March 2025, we are expecting to start regional expansions. Please, next slide. We are here seeking $500,000 to make a difference in the life of these women smallholder farmers that contribute a third of the food we eat in the world. If you are an investor or you are interested in partnering with us, please come on board so that we can make the needed change in the life of these women. Next slide. Here's the team. I am Michael Vigneault Adai, the CEO. I have a total of 15 years experience in agri, business development, and financial inclusion. Diane, the COO, is the founder of DTech. DTech develop and manage FarmStore platform. Harriet has a total of 15 years experience in M&E and financial inclusion. She helps us with quality assurance and credit management. Dr. Azinu is an authority when it comes to seed production, and he advises us on agronomic practices. Elvis has a total of 10 years experience in computer programming that gives us advice on IT solutions. Next slide. So we have a few partnerships. DTech, as I already said, help us with the development and management of FarmStore platform. And then LCIC, that is for Dr. Azinu, assist us with inputs, especially quality seed and also advise us on agronomic practices. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So I will say the second round of pitches is completed. We heard from Famisphere, from Bimac, and from Instadriver. I will leave again the floor to our jurors for questions to our innovators.
I have a couple of questions. Yeah, I would like to ask Pharmasphere, Joseph. Yeah, for the refrigerated boxes, is this something that you're actually producing, or what is the model for that?
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So currently for the refrigerated boxes, I'm trying to share my screen. We actually produce these boxes ourselves. So we produce this in-house ourselves. I don't know if you can see my screen. So currently we produce these boxes in-house myself. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we produce these boxes in-house ourselves. So these are how we produce. This is actually the one we produce using the compressors. So so one of the things we've seen is that the ones with the PETL, the ones with PETL technology cost us about $150 per box. But the ones we actually use a compressor cost us between $70 to $80 per box. So we produce these boxes ourselves. We do the IoT and everything ourselves in-house. And we do our dehydration when we collect from the farmers and everything. So we have a facility where we do this dehydration and we do this ourselves. So thank you. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question.
Yeah, thank you. I'd also like to ask a quick question of Vinmac. Is your model, you consider it scalable beyond RENA, or is this model more specific to the area that you've been working on as a long-term plan?
So as a long-term plan, yes, we'll expand. So as I was saying, in 2025, we'll start regional expansions. So yes, we'll expand to other areas, because I have noticed that the challenge that we are facing in Northern Ghana is the same challenge when you go to any part of Africa.
Okay, thank you.
Goes to Joseph from Pharmasphere. First of all, Joseph, fantastic idea. I like everything about farming and saving crops and yeah, working on avoiding throwing nutritious and crops and products away. But I have one question, and your growth in the future will depend heavily on the customer's access to the internet or to dedicated or the required devices. Can you tell me, and I'm not familiar with the technological situation in Africa, has every farmer or everyone in your target group access to internet and devices so he can use your app and your product?
Okay, so thank you very much. In terms of that, so one of the things we do is that we make use of extension agents. So we make use of extension agents that goes actually to the ground to some of these farms and reach out to the farmers themselves. So what the extension agents do for us is that they onboard these farmers themselves. And when they onboard these farmers for us, what we now do is that we give these farmers a dedicated contact number whereby they can be able to contact. So either the farmer is using a feature phone or a smartphone, he or she can be able to call us. So, but one of the things we do is that we make use of extension agents as foot soldiers that meet most of these farmers. We coach them, we train them on the process. And after training them on the process, we provide them with that. So that's what we are doing to be able to reach those without technology and utilize these feature phones within the system. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much for the answer. Very good.
Then also, I think lastly, we actually make use of UPS and DHL in terms of supplying exports and everything. And if we can be able to get more partnerships with that, Africans in diaspora supplying, we'll be very grateful with that. Thank you.
Joseph from Pharmasphere, first of all, I made this comment and appreciate your efforts on making your IoT box. That was a great initiative, and the fact that you guys made it on your own, that's really commendable. Just a side note, I mean, I'm not sure if that is a patented design. If not, that is something that you guys can look forward to. The reason being that that kind of a technology is useful in your line of business. It can also be useful for pharma logistics as well. So that's something which you guys can actually expand as a different product line in case down the lane you wish to actually segregate on your product line. So maybe Shalom from Dunia would be your first customer as well on that. A separate question on your product line, right? So your entire Pharmasphere product is trying to get the middleman out and getting it from farm to fork, right? However, having your ecosystem in place over there, aren't you also acting like a middleman?
Sorry, your voice is kind of low. I can't hear the question very clearly.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
All right, sorry, I was on speaker. Yeah, so what I was asking was, your entire principle is to take the middleman out and connect the consumer directly to the farm, right? However, aren't you also playing the middleman's role right now?
Okay, so thank you very much. In terms of that, we're actually playing a bit of the middleman role. And apart from playing the middleman role, one of the things we are trying to do is why we actually give farmers, so we don't work like the normal middleman. So the normal middleman actually out for exploitation, but we actually work to give farmers a fair share of the funds because we own the farm ourselves. We've been producing, and we got stopped during COVID. 2020, when we actually lost most of our input and supply because we didn't have access to market as a then, because most of the stores were supplied to were closed. So, but one of the things we are doing in terms of ensuring that farmers get a proper share of what they would get is that we ensure that we buy from the farmers at the actual price. We place a markup and a margin, and we do more of exportation as well as supply to urban areas, because we noticed that, okay, for the export market, most of the middlemen supplying to the export market is a hike in price. For example, some of our seafoods, when we send it to countries like the US and the UK for Africans in the diaspora, we noticed that, okay, in stores is actually sold for as much as maybe 25 kg, $25 per kg or $20 per kg, depending on the seafoods. But we actually, when we supply for as low as between $11 to $13 per kg, thereby giving the customer or the consumer about $7 to $10 per kg. So that's part of what we are doing, but also giving the farmers a fair share of their income that makes them, number one, profitable, and they can stay in business. So what the middlemen do, the actual middlemen do, is that they go to these farmers when they know that it's actually off-peak period, and they cannot be able to store or process their foods. So they buy from them at ridiculous amount or ridiculous prices, which ensures that the farmers in the long run goes out of business or is not be able to sustain himself and his family, or herself and a family. So that's what they do. So in our own aspect, although playing a bit of the middleman role, we're trying to move out the main middleman. We actually give a fair ground for both the farmers and the consumers of our product. And also we ensure that we process this product from the farmers. So one of the things we do is that we process the product, we package it, and we send it out. So we don't just collect the product. So by the time we add value to it, we actually increase the value and the price of the product that we actually send out to the end consumer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question
Yes.
for InstaDriver? Holger, yes,
Holger
back
has
to
one.
you. Back to you,
I
Holger.
have- Thank you. I have a question for InstaDriver, for Eric. Hi, Eric. Thank you very much for your presentation and the problem that you have described. That sounds very familiar to my DHL eyes. Yeah, driver shortage, finding the right driver. Very interesting. But one question: how can you ensure that someone of your competition will copy in the future parts of your solution? Because we have seen that you have already established the competitors at the market.
Okay, thank you very much, Holger, for that question. That's a very good question. And yeah, so what we have tried to do is to create a platform that offers everything that all our competitors don't offer at the moment. Yeah. In that slide, I shared platforms like Fuzu. Indeed, you find that most of these solutions or these platforms offer just part of the product that the market need. So what we have done is we have combined a driver marketplace with a software as a service solution. This is a platform that we are actually using. We have onboarded more than 150 vehicles that we are monetizing at the moment, and we are the managers. And I can tell you that, for example, here in Kenya, we don't have a competitor, and we have not seen what you're doing even across Africa.
Yeah, but again, how can you ensure that your competitors will not copy what you plan to realize? Yeah, we see a lot of copycats, especially in the startup market. They see, wow, Eric's idea is fantastic, so we will develop the same feature and also offer it to our customers and say, yeah, there's something new and exciting. And yep, how can you block your competition in the future? Yeah, make sure that the market is yours.
Yeah, I think that's a very sincere concern, and it's all about the first mover advantage. So we are trying to make sure that we iterate and move very quickly, and that's our plan for the next year. We want to market very aggressively starting from January, so that we bring all these drivers on board and then iterate based on the feedback we're going to get from them to make sure that even if you're going to get competitors along the way, they're not going to catch up that easily with us. Yeah.
Okay, I keep my fingers crossed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Johannes, any question from your side?
Thanks, no further questions.
Right. Irina, is there any question from your side?
No.
Okay, so I think we can move to the last pitch round. We are left with Trotro Live, Wadonge, and Yaka.
Good day to everyone. My name is Chimfambe Mutale from Zambia. I'm the co-founder of Yaka Investment Limited, which is an ecopreneur company solving climate and energy-related issues. Next slide, please. So we have our annual revenue growth rate, which is 100%, and our revenue churn rate at 1%. We are also looking at the investment opportunity, which is 2 million euros. And also our customer acquisition cost is basically 2 out of 5. Next slide, please. So we are looking into providing energy solutions, especially in the rural parts of our nation and communities. We realize that 5 in 6 of rural sub-Saharan Africa lack access to on-grid power for mobile device charging services. And not only that, what has been provided, which is DC only by our competitors, affects some mobile devices because they use alternating current. And so our solution will provide both DC and AC. Next slide, please. So once these are provided to rural communities, this will be able to ease on transportation because these instruments are being used to ease on communication and also transportation. Next slide, please. As at now, we are looking at how we combine. We have partnered with CIB Engineering Company, which is just a local company, and have been engaged by UNICEF to work on a water reticulation system to combine it with the charging booth system, which will be one of its kind, and the project, which is around $20,000, and this will indeed ease on the communities that are currently facing water challenges and also their devices being affected by what is provided, the DC, which affects their batteries. Next slide, please. So our aim is to provide efficient and reliable energy supply through this mobile charging booth system in these rural parts of our nation, and we aim to grow to as far as sub-Saharan countries. Next slide, please. So we are looking at a market of $434 billion at global stage and $2.6 billion in Africa and $215 million in Zambia. We have our compound annual growth rate, which is at 50%, and our growth rate is at 8%. And of course, as we have mentioned, our target rural areas are rural clinics, rural schools, and also rural markets and farms. These especially has affected women, 50% women in these places and 50% children in these places we've mentioned, because it affects schools and also it affects clinics. Next slide, please. As at now, we are on the way constructing our prototype, and this project that we've been partnered with UNICEF, we are hoping to finish it by February 2024, which will be one of its kind in Zambia. And also we'll add a feature next year in June, which will be our mobile app, by which customers can acquire these booths and also services through the app. We are currently working on the app as well, and we're hoping to have our headquarters by next year as well. And our regional expansion shall be done in the next 3 years, that is sub-Saharan Africa. Next slide. So we are offering a unique solution because it is easy and friendly to use, able to be accessed through mobile apps. We're offering clean energy, which is indeed reducing on emissions in the atmosphere and also being part of the climate solutions, but also offering a tech accessibility of energy and its peripherals through the mobile services that we'll be providing. And also it's efficient as it provides for both AC and DC power solutions. Next slide. So basically we are looking at offering at retail at $4,250, while hiring at rental is just at 70%. And this, our target is that we may provide this solution 50% cheaper than what's currently on the market, which is quite high. Next slide. So we are projecting to have our operating margin at 25% in the next 3 years, and we're hoping to have a net revenue by next year of $1.5 million. And indeed, this will create a $0.1 million of free cash flow. Next slide. So this is our team. I have 5 years experience in energy, renewable energy systems. And my colleague Lengan Singoi has also 5 years experience in energy and logistics. And Christine Chumoka, our marketing manager, has got 3 years experience in marketing. Our goal is to have a bold and strong team which will be able to offer this service at the optimum, at the excellent way, and also offer this solution to our intended market. So we are basically seeking $100 for 10% equity for buying of material and paying of licenses. Next slide. So join us as Yaka Investment Limited as we work on creating a better solution, a better world full of energy and able to move from one place to the other. Find us at our LinkedIn link, which we've provided. Thank you.
My name is Gerard Magoge. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Wadonge Group Limited. We are reducing producer poverty and the consumer poverty throughout agricultural value chain across East Africa. So our operation is in Tanzania, though our company has been registered both in Kenya and Tanzania. So our monthly working capital currently is at $4,000, and we have active customers of more than 100. Our monthly growth rate is so amazing. It's at 60% and above. Next. Okay, yeah. The main issue here that we are solving is the issue of agriculture. Everyone, when you hear about Africa, Africa is mainly about agriculture. But do you know that over 900 billion is lost every year as economic loss in Africa due to the post-harvest losses? There are two reasons. One is because 50% and more is lost, do not reach to the market of the produce that are being farmed by the farmer. 50% do not reach to the market due to the losses, the post-harvest losses. And the remaining 50% that remains, it reaches to the market at a higher price to the consumer and at lower price to the farmer because of the middlemen, 4 to 5 middlemen who are covering this whole process and making the prices so high. And do you know that it's in Africa where the consumer can eat an orange without knowing where the orange came from because of lack of traceability? Can you go to the next slide? Okay, so Wadonge here we come with a solution. The solution is covered in our business model that we combine and we integrate digital technology and the physical technology through system engineering. By physical technology means that we go to the farmers, we open collection points in the farmers' locations, then we start registering those farmers. Then we buy their produce and they bring to our collection points. Then we bring here in town where we have our processing facility, we add value. Then we open distribution points on the consumer side, on the side of the vendors or retailers. So these distribution points are small shops where we put these processed products and start selling by using our delivery fleet. So here by physical, we talk about produce collection points, we talk about distribution points, and we talk about delivery fleet. Can you go to the next slide? Okay, and by digital technology means that we are opening a Wadonge app. This is a multi-channel marketplace where one thing, we analyze data for demand and for supply, meaning that to the farmer side, we register them into our mobile application, and to the retailers side, we register these retailers into our mobile application, then we provide that market platform. Then we emphasize on cashless payments, that we pay farmers through cashless, and we receive from these retailers through cashless. Next slide. So, okay, why Africa? Do you know that more than 80% of the African population are engaging in agriculture? More than 80%. We are dealing with agriculture, but the value chain of agriculture is so terrible. But in East Africa alone, according to the statistics from the Food and the Agriculture Organization, in East Africa, the market value of agriculture is over 1 trillion, will be over 1 trillion USD by 2030. Dar es Salaam city, which is located in Tanzania, the main business city of Tanzania, has a population of over 7 million people. They want to eat and they need food, all of them. Next slide. So, okay, here we are. That's me there with our vehicle. This is our delivery fleet. This it is a shop moving and supplying fruits and vegetables. So our goal for 2024 is to source from over 1,000 farmers. Currently, we have 50 plus farmers. And also, we want to open over 50 distribution points. Currently, we have 2 distribution points. Can you go to the next slide? Our competition we have the competitors, but mainly they are open public markets. We have the public markets that sell fruits and vegetables. But the problem with them that they are operating offline. They do offline transaction. But here in Wadonge, we trade as in Itume Sokoni. We offer online transaction and we are cheap, so we are affordable. Other competitors like East Africa Fruits, they also offer online transaction, but they are expensive compared to what we offer. Next slide. Okay, the impact that we have already brought and we need to bring more on the side of the farmer. In Africa, the farming of fruits and vegetables is mainly considered as a female job. The men do farm maize and the rice and the other crops, but the fruits and veggies is mainly for females. So more than 60% of females are the ones who are engaging in horticulture activities. So we have managed to triple their yields because of removing these middlemen. And our aim is that if we manage to recruit more than 1,000 farmers, the yield will be more, and we help more of these smallholder farmers. And also we've managed to reduce food waste. Even on the retailer side, we have managed to reduce, to ensure food quality and to reduce the inconsistencies that these retailers do face. Next slide. Our core team of me and Nesori Chacha and Margaret Maina, who is our legal officer, has a combined experience of over 20 years. But also we have our advisory board, which is led by Madam Christine Musisi. Ms. Musisi is a retired resident representative of UNDP Tanzania. She retired this year. She's a Ugandan, but she has been in Tanzania for a long time, and she is our mentor, and she advises us a lot, and she gives us more of the connection and the experience that she has over the years that she served in the UNDP. Next slide. Okay, can you invest in us? Because we want to bring changes in Tanzania, in East Africa, and in Africa in general. We are raising 500,000 USD, and mainly this money is for one, modifying our mobile app. We need to register these farmers. We need to open this collection to open collection points and the distribution points. That the picture there display one of our distribution points that is inside the supermarket. These distribution points, we intercontract to deal with the supermarkets. Every supermarket is running the fruits and vegetables section. So we have the contract with 2 supermarkets that we own this section 100% by our own, with our own staff, and everything is on us. So we put there the products, we store them to extend shelf life, then we start distributing by using our delivery fleet. Next slide. Wow, thank you so much. That's me, Gerard Magoge. Thank you.
We are left with Trotro. Trotro, are you ready for your presentation?
Yes, please, I'm ready.
And the floor is all yours.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, again. And thanks for the earlier inconveniences. My name is Godfrey Adamuakon, and I'm the founder of Trotro Live. And Trotro Live is an idea-based startup that we are currently at. Sometimes technology can fail us, but humanity won't fail us, like the way technology just failed me. But anyways, what we are doing is that we are doing innovation in last mile logistics. And this is us doing good by growing fast. This is our projection for this very year. As currently, we stand up having about 500 vendors who want to be on our platforms, which will help us making about 2.3 million Ghana cedis in revenue sales, and also help us with an expenses of 51,000 Ghana cedis in burn rate. And we're also looking to have about 30 Ghana cedis on a customer, inquiring a customer, which is not so huge, but we'll be able to make an annual rate of 27 million US Ghana cedis with 10 million active users currently going on our website. And now, even on our Twitter page, we have about 11K people visiting us and looking at our attractions. And we're also projecting that most of our transactions and most of our supplies will go down the way by us losing about 3,000 Ghana cedis yearly, of which we will look down to cast it down and make more profit. Please let's go to the next slide and talk about the real problem. Yeah, hello, can you go to the next slide? So I was saying that as of now, we are an idea-based startup whereby we are looking to raise 3 million in investment funding so that we'll be able to start with 500 active vendors who want to sell on our platforms, who will help us make 2.3 million total revenue in a year, and we will have a burn rate of 500,000 Ghana cedis of our total expenses, and you're also looking to have a net cash flow of 2.3 million. We're looking to acquire a customer by 30 cedis per year, which will have a customer have a value lifetime of 5 years. Please let's go to the next slide. This is the problem that we are trying to solve here. In Ghana, almost 70% of the population uses trotro transport. That is, we are looking at a number of 22 million out of 32 million who use trotro on a daily basis. Now, the problem that they mostly face is that in the daily commute, people are fighting over trotro fares. People are, somebody even had a fight and killed someone over it, over a 2 cedis change. I think that in euros would be like €1, where people are fighting over that because of there's no certainty of information. So a lot of people are killing and fighting themselves. And also in the same trotro, it is unregulated to the point that e-commerce in Ghana and in Africa, it's very, very, very expensive to the extent that Kwesi would like to buy a watch at 10 Ghana cedis from Jumia, but the delivery alone will make it cost around 32 Ghana cedis, which means that the delivery of the last mile of logistics is quite expensive than the item itself. So this is the problem that we are looking to solve, and this is the pain point that we are looking to do to regulate trotros, make information readily available, and also to allow people to trade on our platforms. Please, the next slide. Okay, so the solution that we are looking at is that we are providing a common platform for people to be able to have information which are approved by the GPRTU and also by other government agencies. We're also looking to put on an e-commerce store whereby vendors and buyers can have a safe space to sell their items, whereby we don't own the cars, the vendors don't own the cars, but the trotro gets delivered the cars through our platforms. And we are looking to do this with more security, with a simple technology and old technology that we know as escrow.me. So whereby the vendors and the buyers will have a good security system whereby nobody will have a scam issue because you only get your money after the buyer have received the items. Please, the next slide. Yeah, so this is one of our customer personas. This is Hilda. Hilda is part of, so in Ghana, most people sell online using Facebook, WhatsApp, and the meta services. 10 million of Ghanaians uses that kind of platforms. And 3 million have also tried to use this platform to sell their items, like their petty goods, like clothes and other things. Hilda is one of them. And Hilda is one of the 350K people who are looking to have their permanent store online and sell things on online on e-commerce, so by delivery will be efficient, and also to get more customers getting to an end, and also to using the trotro app for more information. Please, the next slide. So this is how our app works. You see on the first left side screenshot, you see that you see the stations close to you. You see a section called Meet Deal, whereby you find all the trotro store. We deal in items such as item of low risk, items less than the value of 1,000 Ghana cedis. We are dealing in items such as a shell of cocoa butter, a bag, kente dresses, customized beads, and all kinds of items that can be transported easily without really paying so much for delivery and making it more sustainable. So we don't repackage our items. We don't do any extra thing. What we do is that the vendor gets an alert that his item is being bought. The money is held on our side as escrow.me. Then the items get transported to other stations. Or we are looking to implement smart lockers, which will serve as landmarks in intermediate junctions. Please, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so this is our market. Our market goes beyond just Ghana. Our market goes way into Africa. Even me myself, I'm a very techie person, but I don't remember the last time I bought something online to pick it up. because every time it's very, very expensive. When I think about the delivery logistics, I'll be like, oh, why then don't I go to the market and buy it myself? Even so, with this market that Ghana has, almost 670 million has been estimated. That is for the potential market of Ghana in e-commerce, for 242 billion for Africa, that is in e-commerce, and with a global market of 2,429 billion. So this is telling us that here in Africa, that we have not really even put much into logistics, that Ghana is the 89 part in logistics, that even Trotro, which is the very big network, has not been involved in parcel sending. That means that we are going to be the destructive ones. We are going to bring more change. We are going to bring the moving of items and expand our economies. And we are not just looking at Ghana, we are looking at globally. And with our market potential, we launched on 26 July this year with our prototype, and most people have been following us on social media. Most people have been visiting our website. We are having about 6.6 growth every day. Every single day, we are multiplying our followings. We are multiplying our beta users on Play Store. Yesterday, we released an app on the Play Store, and we are having almost 26 people installing it this very morning. So our growth is essentially growing. So in 1 year, we're going to have 100% growth, and which can also impact on our revenue. Please, the next slide. So this is our roadmap. As I said, we have already onboarded our prototype testing of our mobile app on the Play Store. We're also looking at hiring a product manager who will help us bring on onboard more security on our mobile app. We're also looking at in March 2024, we are looking at putting up the Trotro store itself. Right now, the prototype that we have on the Play Store, it doesn't have the Trotro store yet. So by next year, March, all the security, all the payment and everything will be fully done. Then we push that features. It's going to be rolled out quite earlier though, but by March 2024, everybody will have it on the ground start. And we're also looking at by May 2024, people are commenting on our social media that we should reach out to their cities and go to their cities to make them know their fairs and also do the e-commerce with them. Even people from Kumasi started reaching out to me this morning on our social medias that we have to come to the city as quickly as possible. And it's going to need money to be doing that. Yeah, please let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so this is our competition. Our competition is, first of all, we call them Trophy. So Trophy is kind of like doing what we are doing, but they don't have the GPRT endorsement, they don't have the brand, and they don't have the engagement. When I say the brand is not first to market, it's first to mind. Trophy and Tap and Hop have officially launched. They have launched on the Ground Star, and by Yesto, whenever they post or people are talking about them, the first thing that comes to mind is Trotro Live. So we are first to mind in people. We are building rural communities with people. We are also establishing our brand identity everywhere. And what we are doing with the e-commerce, none of them are really considered it. What Tap and Hop is really looking at is using a card system for Trotro, which is quite expensive and which is quite not really going well with the mindset of Ghanaians. And with Trophy, what they are doing is that they want to enter into taxi booking and doing taxi like Uber. But we are not Uber, we are not Trophy, we are Trotro Life. We are making it information readily available with an e-commerce attached. On going board, we will add more features and more revenue models. Please, the next slide. So this is our monetization strategy. We are doing a monthly subscription for the vendors who join our platforms at 200 Ghana cedis. We're also doing the tracking of the Trotro cars for the car owners themselves. And we are doing that with IoTs and a premium app whereby they can be able to know how much their car makes in a day, and also they will know where their car is, should in case the drivers are lying to them that the car is spoiled and other things. And also to know the car's health for public information. And we are also doing loan helping some of the drivers. If I tell you that in Africa, we have some drivers who don't have driving licenses, you might not believe, but on the reality, that is what is happening. So in order to change that whole system and their whole mentality and their whole idea, we are looking to onboard some drivers on our on a payment plan that we have for loan system, whereby we help you get a driving license as fast as possible. Then you work for Trotro Life on our booking services, and you get to pay us in installments. And we're also looking at a digital offline taxi booking. The last time I was in Germany, a year today, with Toyin, we pick a taxi from Leonardo Hotel, the taxi, the bus station to Leonardo Hotel, And after that, Tony wanted a receipt. And the guy gave me a receipt written on paper. So that means that it has more work to do it has work more to do even in Europe's market, whereby taxi system has to be booked by how to call it digitally, so that transaction and invoices can be recorded, and also to reduce more scams, and also to eradicate the use of paper, and also to helping with these offline taxis. We can also expand our peer-to-peer logistics even throughout Europe and Germany, whereby sending of items will be simple, whereby you won't just think of DHL or Uber or something. You can also think of sending your items through a taxi that is going already to that destination without you really joining the taxi. Yeah. So these are the other money strategies that we have. Please, the next slide. So these are our financial projection. These are financial projection for the next 5 years. That every 5 years, with the first year, we are looking at making 2.3 million in revenue. But in the 5th year, we're looking at making 2.9 million with a 15% operational margin, and also with a free cash of 2.9 million Ghana cedis. Please, can you go to the next slide, please? So this is our amazing team of 5, where 2 of them are our advisory board. Myself, Dr Abir Leheta, I'm an Android developer. I have background in media and radio and digital marketing, but I'm also into software. I build Android apps. I build the backend of this app. And we also have here Hilda, who's also a web developer and also into digital marketing and also into helping people upskill their skills. I also have Joseph here, who is joining us from Ethiopia. He also have great financial background and also have background in UX designing, who designed most of our products. And also have here with Stephen Fox, who have helped us through this mentorship, understanding our revenue model, the problem that we are solving. And we also have Prince Dossis, who is part of the top 1% developers here in Ghana. He works at the Python Ghana and other big corporations here in Ghana who help us in implementing our software on the ground scale. And with an investor, that could be you, who you want us to join our team. So join Trotro Live and invest in us, and let's make more impact in Africa. The next slide, please. So in the midst of chaos, you find opportunity. For in quitting, you might miss the chance to discover the greatest strength you can ever have. I think this is the very, very deep thing that I can ever read right now. When I was about to do this call, my phone was freezing. I couldn't join this call. It was like I was in chaos, but I still kept calm, did what I did, took the opportunity to talk to someone, and the person lent me his phone. And now I didn't miss the chance to quit, but I get the chance to look on my strength. So can you. Don't look at the huge risk involved in Trotro being informal and be all kind of this and that and all kind of the negative part that I see. As with this niche, we can start small, and with this niche, it will become great, because even 100 started with 0 to become 100. We are looking to raise 300K, that is 3 million Ghana cedis. Thank you very much. I think that's the last slide.
Thank you, Abraham. Thank you very much. Well done. Apologies again for the few glitches. We are a little bit behind schedule. I will leave the floor to our jurors for a round of questions. I don't know if Johannes, you want to start first this time with the questions.
Yes, thank you for the pitches. I need to check my notes first. Yes. So maybe one question to Wadonge. It was not really clear for me what your business model is. So maybe we can describe it again. So is it like a platform to connect different actors, farmers, for example, and the customers, to connect them? Maybe you can describe it for me, one more time.
Yeah. It's connecting smallholder farmers, these 1 to 5 acre farmers who are in the rural villages, to the retail vendors in the city, in big cities. So we do that through two ways, two system technologies. One is the physical part, and another is the digital part. So by physical part, we talk about opening the centers, the collection centers there in the farmers' side, so that because These are smallholder farmers. They are scattered in the village. So you find out there's no tarmac roads. So you need a collection point somewhere where you can start collecting from these farms and bring there. Then you take a delivery fleet from the collection point to the city. So so that's by physical technology. So and by digital, we talk about registering them to your system, whether by using feature phones or smartphones, because in Tanzania, for instance, the availability of electricity in the villages is more than 90%. So people have smartphones and their connection is good. So it's very easy for them to get connected.
Okay, thanks. That was clear.
Yes.
Gerald, if I may ask, I mean, the solution that you had presented over here, how different is that from the earlier one from Farmosphere that Joseph was talking about? My understanding is they both are on similar notes, right?
Yeah, there is a lot. One, I think the mechanism, because we are in our side, for instance, here in East Africa, or what we do first, the secret sauce to our product is the distribution points. That what we do is that we are bringing these fresh produce near these customers. So, for instance, right now, what we do is that we are entering the contract terms with the supermarkets, because as I said, every supermarket, it has the fruits and vegetable section, and it's a headache to operate that section because sometimes those products, they are fresh produced, by the way. So what we do, we operate those sections, we enter into contractual terms, we are being given those sections, we operate 100%. So one, we put that as our store. It's as a place where we put our fresh produce. Okay, customers can come and purchase there, but to us, that is a store where we put our fresh produce direct from our farmers, and then from there we start distributing to the nearby location. And also even the delivery freight that we are using, it's just not vehicles that we take and start distributing. No, it's vehicles that they have the shelves, and it is a shop by itself. So the vehicle is a shop by itself. So it's just the small vans that we put as a shop. So when we go, we open it and we start selling to our customers in a particular location. Yeah.
All right. So your end customer necessarily need to download your app or place an order through the app. They can directly pick it up from your shop, which is the vehicle. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. But currently, what we do, we are more on the physical part. We are developing the physical mechanism first before turn back to the emphasis on the app, because in Africa there is more the apps are so many, they are confusing our customers. So what we do currently, is that okay, it's on physical. Our sales people going there to the restaurants, they are going to the vendors, to the table shops, to the table shops, retailers. We register them manually. We make phone calls. They pre-order a day before. Early in the morning, we bring to them what they have pre-ordered. So from there, we will start convincing them to go to the mobile app. So the more emphasis now is on the physical part.
Okay, thank you. One more question to the gentleman from Yaka. You mentioned that your kiosk is basically helping mobile phones to be charged. So, but what is the technology behind? I mean, is it solar powered, or how are you getting the source for your electricity?
Yes, it's solar powered. So not only mobile devices, but even other devices which can be charged using DC and AC. So yes, it's using solar.
So because we do not see a diagram of your solution, as I'm just guessing, you have a solar panel which charges up a DC, which is then used to charge the mobile phone. Is that correct? Is that the way it works?
Yes, the both comes together with the solar.
So what do you do on rainy days? I mean, what is your backup plan for rainy days or cloudy days?
There's storage. We have storage as well. we have batteries that are combined to the both, which store the energy. So the process is like we leave it charged for the night, and then in the morning we use the batteries as it's charging. And then when it gets fully charged, then it will start using solar. So we have a backup storage for batteries.
Okay. Okay. And this particular prototype is out in the market right now, right? Or is it yet to be introduced into the market?
That's when we are just introducing it on the market.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Holger from DHL speaking. Tuya Aka. Hello. And another idea I like very much, because also DHL is very closely looking into the entire topic of sustainability, clean energy, and so on. This is super important for us. And I must confess, I'm using a power station and solar panels in my home, to harvest some energy from the sun. So I love your idea. My question is, where do you plan to produce your units? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you mean locally made or?
Yeah, where is the production of your kiosks with the solar panels, the battery?
Yes, most of the material will just be locally bought, so produced locally. And mind you, the government just signed a recent agreement with DRC Congo to be producing batteries within Zambia. So we're hoping to leverage on that, so that even batteries as well can just be purchased within Zambia. So the rest of the materials, they are purchased in Zambia. Maybe just a few of it, like the panels that are actually imported by other companies, and then they are selling locally. So actually locally, there are solar panels which are being sold. So most of it will just be bought locally.
Okay, interesting. Another question: how do you plan to realize the support and maintenance? Yeah, imagine your kiosks are spread all over the country. Everyone is using it. How do you want to support this number of kiosks everywhere? Do you plan to set up a support and maintenance department within your startup, or do you plan to partner with someone else?
Thank you for the question. Quite important. So for a start, we plan to be hiring, because we want our customers to learn on how to use them, and also teach communities on how to use them, the technical side, so that after we start now actually selling them, then they have the knowledge even when they are using them, or when they're using them for business. Then after that, we have our own technical side, which will be offering this service of after-sales service to be guiding on the customers on how to use them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Abir, maybe.
Yes, I have a question for Trotro. Yeah, could you please just quickly take me through a delivery process? I mean, if there is a parcel from seller to buyer, how does that happen using the Trotro?
Okay, so with the delivery, thank you for the question. With the delivery facilitation between Trotro, when the vendors get alert that an item is being bought, he has to package the item on his own, because when he gets to the station, we won't have to package it. So the item, which is Hilda, gives the item to the station's master. Then the station master log the item's info, corresponding with the unique code that Hilda received. Now with this unique code, the buyer also received that same unique code. Then the station master pairs it with the car going to that very destination. So he pairs it with the car, then it gets updated on the dashboard again. So I will have the message, you have the message that, oh, your item is on this very car, it will get to this station at this very time frame. So we are not doing live streaming of information, we're just giving information of certainty. Because the Trotros are quite irregular, it might get to the station quite earlier or maybe a bit delayed. So we do the pickup during certain time frames. Then when the item gets to the other station point, but we are looking to use smart lockers because some other stations have intersects. So let's say you are living in a place where there's no station close to you. We are looking to introduce a smart locker that is close to your house so that you can pick it up, or whenever you're going to the mall, you pick up your item. Yeah. So, but the other station, you have to pick up with your identification card, your national ID, or with a smart locker, you use your unique code to take your item. But with the smart lockers, the downside of it is that the more you keep your items waiting, it could incur more cost, but it's probably quite pennies because you're not dealing in large, bigger items. We are dealing in items lower than 2 kilograms or probably not above 3 kilograms. So items like a bag of apple, a laptop and other things. But as of now, currently with the risk involved, we are not dealing in electronics. We are dealing in items of socks, clothes, items of low valuable. Yeah.
So and then how does your revenue calculated from that?
So our revenue is calculated from a subscriptional point, whereby the vendors have to subscribe 200 Ghana cedis every month. And our revenue is also calculated from the transaction. So when you buy the items from the Trotro store, the delivery is not free. You have to pay a transactional fee of a minimum of 7 Ghana cedis, whereby 6 Ghana cedis go into operations, and 6.50 pesos go into operations, and 50 pesos become a profit to us. So our revenue base is based on transaction and subscriptional.
Okay, so just a suggestion, not a question. I would suggest that you put the financial numbers in USD for and your audience outside of Ghana, just to make it easier to kind of have an idea of what your results look like, and to actually explain that process in the presentation somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abir. Any other question from the jurors for our innovators?
A quick question from my end also to Chatra regarding your revenue projections. I guess you projected on your slides about 2.9 million in revenue in January 24, so in 1 month. That leads me to 2 questions. Was it in US dollars or Ghanaian sterlings? And what's your actual revenue as of December 2023?
Okay, so with the revenue projection for the next year, that's 2.3 million Ghana cedis. That is in Ghana cedis. Yeah, I think the conversion rate, I might not have it right, but what we are looking at to do with when it is that currently we have 500 users who want on board with the store, but they are ready to pay to start with. So please come again with the question. I didn't have clarity on it.
Yeah, I mean the question was about what's your revenue projection for 2024, but I mean you mentioned that it was in Ghanaian sterlings and not in USD, so thanks for that.
Yeah.
And the second question was what's your actual revenue is.
Okay, so the actual revenue is around 4,805 USD, and that's 4,880 USD, because calculating of the subscriptional payment and calculation of the vendors that we have at the moment, that's how we are projecting the revenue to be.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to thank all the jurors now and our innovators. Great job, all of you. I will leave the floor to Stephen Fox for a chat with our innovators now, while the jurors can take some time, maybe the next 15 minutes, to think it through and choose their favorite or most promising innovator. And then to reconvene here. You can also stay online. We sent the link to Slido. Charlotte, you have it also for Holger. Maybe you can vote from your laptop. Super. See that we have 3 prizes. One prize coming from the first prize from the Duisburg, 500 euro. Then we have Eqytrans prize with 250 euro. And then we have DHL, who's giving 1 seat for their Global Innovation Challenge to the third place. So we leave the jurors on Slido. If you have any trouble reaching the Slido link, let me know. I can resend also the link very quickly. And in the meanwhile, here in the room, I leave the floor to Steven to moderate this final session for the next, I would say 15 minutes, because we are running a bit late with the agenda. Charlotte, you wanted to say something? I see you. No, okay, cool. Steven, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you everybody for your presentations. Now, our understanding is that you've got most out of DigiLogic. First of all, from being able to have people from the European institutes perhaps join you for meetings with potential clients and investors. The second most important thing has been having the targeted technical input that's directly related to your startup, not generic, specific to your startup. And the third thing is the kind of events where we've connected you to potential investors. So am I understanding that correctly? Is that the value that you've got from participating in DigiLogic? So if I ask you in the order that you presented, so Josephine, is that how you're seeing your DigiLogic experience?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The DigiLogic was a very good, I can't believe I'm saying it in past tense. I wish it was like beginning. It was a very good platform for us as Stradava. So when we came in, we were struggling with a lot of things, one of which was how to map our different stakeholders. It was really difficult to see which narrative, how exactly to sell it to people, how to phrase what you are doing to people, but through the DigiLogic and how we worked with both you, Stephen, and Rian and Justin, we were able to map out, do a stakeholder mapping, who is expecting what from us. Like it was in our mind somewhere, but we just didn't know exactly how to articulate it, how to place it. And also the experience and exposure it gave us when we were able to present what you're doing both in Finland and in the EU stakeholder events. So we were able to connect with a lot of investors and people who gave us feedback on the areas to improve. And also through throughout the program since December last year to now. So through the things we've been training on, we were able to at least raise a little bit more money to grow our innovation. So it's very good. And I also like the sessions, how do we call it? The live sessions, where we invite the expert people to talk with them. So most of them were super relevant to our industry, and I like that the way DigiLogic is focused on people, like industry focused on people who are dealing with the supply chain. So the solutions that we have is and also more importantly is the connections that we made. So we were able to briefly work with Trusty, who is also was taking part of this training, to see how we can use their blockchain in our platform to do the what do we call it? The commodity tokens. And also there's Joseph and the people from Yara. So we've been like talking a lot, and people like can express my frustrations too. So in summary, it cannot be summarized. It's a very great experience. And if there's a possibility of extending it, it will be great.
Okay, thank you, Josephine. Now Kingsley from DefPal, what's your summary of the DigiLogic experience?
Hi, Stephen. Personally, it's been very interesting, especially with all the times we spent together, as in with you. Few literature reviews and things we should consider in the general structure of the system, and how for us we got help in overcoming I think our major challenge at the time, which was with the technical skills. Yes, it was very helpful. We got insights from Ryan of BTT, and then that led us into having a stream of interns over a 3-month period. And for me, aside the technical input and everything that came from you, for some reason, I think we got enough publicity out of this, and we started getting contacts, people contacting us. When I say people, I mean investors contacting us. And I think for our entire 1 year or 1.5 before we joined the program, we didn't have any external investors contact us. But then during the program, we got investors reach out to us. And even though like we couldn't proceed because of the stage of our business, they then recommended us to another fund, and that we are currently working on that. That has really been interesting, and we hope that the support continues beyond the program.
Okay, thank you, Kingsley. So now Chalo from Dunia.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I think I don't even know where to begin from to talk about the kind of impact DigiLogic has had on our business. Because this time last year when we were starting this program, Dunia Healthcare was just an idea. You know, it was just an idea that we had seen a problem and we're trying to see how best we can solve it. And as we speak today, it's a fully fledging business. And not only have we done over 1,000 deliveries since we had started officially in April last year, we have also made a lot of strides for a very young company. For instance, I think the contract that we have with the Catholic Church, which from the very beginning, the experts from DigiLogic helped us craft all of that, how to solve it, how to do the whole expertise required for us to execute it. I think experts from DigiLogic had come on board from Bongo Hive in terms of business modeling, to even Stephen sitting on some of those conversations we had with the Catholic Church about how to deliver and what we're able to do for them, which added a lot of credibility to a young company like ours. And so that made us leapfrog a lot of the small things that would have had to undergo otherwise. So I'm quite thankful for it. I mean, we've benefited a lot from all the resources, even just hosting us as our offices currently are at Bongo Hive through the DigiLogic program. Because when we started out, like I said, it was just an idea. We were pre-revenue, meaning that there was no money coming in, but Bongo Hive through DigiLogic was able to say, you can come and innovate from our space, and they gave us space, which again adds a lot of credibility, especially when you're just starting out. So thank you so much. It's been amazing. It's been wonderful. I hope this is not the end because it would be very sad if it would be, but I'm hoping that the relationship would still continue. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, Chelo. So now Joseph from Pharmasphere.
Hi, Stephen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Very quickly, the DIGILOGIC program has actually been of enormous benefit to us as a startup and as a business, and particularly very much big thanks to Steven and actually Ryan and Justin in the background. And one of the things that was able to actually stand out for us during the DIGILOGIC program was the fact that we worked with a lot of experts to be able to craft out not just our business model, not just the business as a whole, but also the technologies that we are using to deliver our services. And it's very much important. And in fact, there was actually a last call that I went on with Steven, and one of the things that actually stood out was also the advice and also some of the support he was able to give prior to a complementary product that we have attached to Famisphere, which he's aware of. And one of the things that that particular section was able to do was we were able to pick out some of the points that was raised, and it helped us to be able to, one, secure about 3 partnerships with three organizations in the UK, Future Farm and 2 others, which the 2 others are not yet finalized, but it was able to help us to start that phase. And also one of the things is also being able to properly position the business. So at first, when we actually started with when we started the program of DIGILOGIC, we felt that finance was actually more of the big thing, but one of the things we were able to get while we moved was that finance is not really one of the big things, but it's actually an enabler. But one of the things is, first of all, ensuring that your business model and every other thing is lean enough. It's very much inclusive. It can be able to deliver the results and the change you need. And that helped us to be able to get the revenue we need, make profit, and also self-build our processing and storage facilities, which was actually very much important. So the thing was that without actually seeking for additional resources or trying to get more funds, we're able to grow the business through expertise in terms of support, in terms of talks, in terms of drafting, in terms of a headway on our operations, our models, and every other thing, and including technology. And one of the things that I would mention also is actually one of the experts that Steven actually gave us to actually work with us concerning our box, and was able to bring out a better idea on how we can build, how we can fabricate, and also linkages if we want to actually do mass production when we scale and everything. And that has actually been a valuable part for us throughout this work here. So sincere appreciation to Steven, the VTT team, and the EU, the DIGILOGIC, funded by the European Union. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joseph. So now Eric from InstaDriver.
Hello, Stephen. Yeah, thank you. DIGILOGIC program has been very beneficial for us. And, first of all, it gave us the validation that we needed that our platform can sorry about that. Yeah, so DIGILOGIC gave us the validation that we needed to understand that our platform can exist as a profitable business. And when we joined last year, we were funding the platform from our own pockets. And today, we are actually generating a revenue of $1,500 per month, which is going to support the development and the building of the platform. Yeah. So we gained a lot of benefits, one of which was helping us form the basis of integrating AI into our platform. So we had a series of meetings with Ryan from VTT, who helped us, technically to come up with algorithms and logics to help us kickstart our AI integration into our platform. Second, trackers. So we wanted to integrate trackers into our platform, and again, through the benefit of this program, we got connected to an expert where we had a series of meetings, and they again helped us come up with a plan to incorporate this in our platform. The other benefit is mentorship. We have received a lot of mentorship from this program that has helped us to refine our company and our business to make sure that we are profitable in the coming months. And yeah, finally would be network. We have formed a lot of relationships, yeah. And even though we are sad that the program is coming to an end, we know that the collaboration will continue. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. So now on the original running list, it was Godfred next. So Godfred.
Okay. Thank you very much, Stephen. DigiLogic has been very, very amazing for me. I think I was playing it as growth and growth and growth. When we started last year, up to now, we have been seeing exponential growth in our understanding of the problem that we are solving. At first, we were just kind of like building a solution for like a charity sort of, but through DigiLogic, we have been able to understand how to make money from the project, how to increase our social impact, how to collaborate with other traditional corporations like the GPRTU, where it's very, very hard to collaborate with them. But through DigiLogic and Stephen, it has been so smooth and going on well that we have been able to get endorsement from them, that we are looking to proceed into partnership. It has been great. It has been awesome. Also going to MEST to learn on investment readiness and joining the UNICEF startup clubs through the DigiLogic program has been amazing, and it has been a point of growth, exponential growth that I've not seen before. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thanks, Godfrey. And so now Michael from Vinmac.
Yeah, Stephen. So for us, I think is the coaching sessions that we had with you, and then MEST, led by Femi. That was very valuable to us. In fact, you brought a lot of new ideas to the table that we incorporated into Farm Store. In fact, when we started, we were not very clear what we really wanted to do, but the sessions we had with you and Femi really shaped Farm Store. And currently we are at the pilot stage. So I think that's great. And we'll ask that this relationship continues. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Now, Gerald from Wodonga.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. A lot has been said to my fellows, which applies to me as well. One thing that I can say that I'm thanking DigiLogic project, either the contract that we are about to enter with the German buyer called Ingmar, because by the help of DigiLogic and you, Stephen, personally, you helped us communicate with DB Schenker, Kenya. So I'm in Dar es Salaam. I traveled to Kenya early this year. So I went there. I met the leaders of DG Schenker there. Then they connected me to one of their buyer, who's the German. He's residing in Hamburg. So he wanted us to supply to him some of the products, fresh fruits and veggies, and he gave us the specifications for the produce. So currently we haven't communicated with him yet because we are still trying to see on how we can get the funding so that we can be able to work with our farmers and the supply to him. So that is a huge opportunity to us, and it will remain. Every time I'll be hearing DigiLogic, I will remember that. Thank you.
Thanks, Gerald. And then finally, from Yaka, Linganji. Are you still with us?
I don't see him.
Yeah, I can see. Langanji, are you still with us? You're on mute.
Hi, are you able to get me?
Yes, yes, good to hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so on behalf of Yaka Investment, we are grateful to what DigiLogic has done for us. We are so grateful for the mentorship that you provided us with, and more so even the webinars that we attended. We have benefited so much in trying to shape our project, especially the solar mobile booths. In terms of mentorship, Stephen and the team, you've been there for us. We have had a lot of improvement and changes, but all towards the betterment of our project. So for that, as Yaka Investment, we are so grateful. So on behalf of the team, all I can say is thanks, and we appreciate your usual support to us. Thank you.
Okay, that's everybody who's been able to join us today from the startups. So, well, to all the startups, it's been our privilege and pleasure to work with you all, to work with such extremely capable, talented, hardworking, resilient people. And we've been using this word mentoring, but as I said at the beginning a year ago, I'm not seeing it like that. It's peer-to-peer exchange, because certainly there's a great deal that we at VTT, at DHM, at Endeavour, at Fraunhofer, at Fin in Italy, that we learn from you. And the challenges that you're facing are relevant throughout the world. And so there are some cases, for example, with the Vinmac, they're on the front line of helping farmers to deal with climate change, which, as we know, Africa is in no way responsible for the human contributions to climate change. And what Michael's doing there with his colleagues is relevant. It's not just throughout Africa, it's throughout the world as climate patterns are changing. And for example, then we go to an urban setting, what Trotro Live are doing. So in Europe, we sit on buses and there's 2 or 3 people on them. But as we know in Ghana, the buses don't go until they're full. So from the point of view of making better use of resources, examples can come, powerful examples can come from Africa at least as much as from Europe. And with going back to Trotro Live, that the people are going on those Trotros anyway. So when they do peer-to-peer transport, that is taking, instead of the number of vehicles on the road going up, it can reduce the number of vehicles on the road. And it's the same for all the startups, all the startups that are contributing to more resilient supply chains, more flexible and more resilient supply chains. And as Holger knows for sure, that this is a challenge facing the whole world. So what I'd like to remind, as I said a year ago, that it's important that African startups, that they look at their own environments and develop robust solutions based on a combination of a mixture of diverse technologies. Not thinking that the answers lie in throwing more and more ever increasingly high tech at problems. To think about the fit with your environment and being able to adapt with your environment as it changes, and not being over reliant on more and more and more technology, but to make targeted, selective use of technologies of different levels of sophistication depending on the situation. So whatever you've got out of DigiLogic, I can assure you that all of us here in Europe have got at least as much out of it. And moving forward, about continuing, we've got the WhatsApp group, so I think that requires zero maintenance to keep it going. So we'll keep that going. And I've been helping organizations in Africa for many years, pro bono, and I'm certainly very happy to be of whatever assistance I can to you in the years ahead. So I don't think there's much you can learn from me. I think there's a lot I can learn from you. But if you ever think that me attending a meeting, perhaps with a potential European customer or something, could help you, just let me know and I'll join. And if there's anything I think I can help you with systems engineering or something, I'll be very happy to do that.
Thank you, Stephen. Actually, fellow innovators, you are very lucky to have a mentor like Stephen that really cares about each one of you and is being leading this activity for DigiLogic project. Now it's time for the awards. The jurors have voted already. I think, jurors, you saw my email, so I would leave the floor to Obie to announce the third prize winner, which is the prize that you are offering here.
Thank you, Margherita. First of all, let me just say a really great job done by all the participants, really great ideas, really great pitches. This is just one of the forums where you had an opportunity to present, but please do take up these kind of discussions forward and these discussions with other forums as well, where you will be able to take your businesses into more flourishing stages. With that being said, it would be my pleasure to announce the third prize winner, which is Dadawa. And all the very best to you guys.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And as Margherita mentioned, there is a consideration that you would be looked into for the DHL Fast Forward Challenge. We are still working around the details of the theme. Once that is up and running within the next 1 or 2 months, we will be reaching out to you to let you know more about the theme. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, George. Josephine, congratulations to you and to whole team in Kenya.
Thank you.
Very good. So we move on to the second prize winner. I will leave the floor to Ms. Abir.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say what a pleasure it's been to see all of the startups and really some amazing ideas and amazing on the ground impact. And I'm very happy to have participated. The second prize goes to Pharmasphere. So congratulations on that.
Well done. Ante Joseph, yes, where are you? Here we go. See you.
Very much. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the judges. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well done, Nigeria. Yes. And then I will leave the floor to Johannes for the first prize winner.
Yes, thank you. Thank you again for your pitches. I think, yeah, I noticed that the DigiLogic program has helped you. So the pitches were very professional. So it's an honor to award the first prize now. This goes to Dunya. Congratulations to Dunya.
Well done, Charles.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really humbled. Thank you.
So congratulations to all our innovators that have worked with us for so many months. Congratulations for today for the pitches. We were in Cape Town 6 months ago with a session on pitching and recording your pitches, and I saw an enormous improvement in your presentation today. So very well done. Thank you so much. Obviously, congratulations to the 3 winners. I will put you in touch with the jurors for the proceedings of your prize, of course. And if you all agree, your pitches will be published on our website, and this session that has been recorded will be edited and also published on the YouTube channel for future reference for any other investor that might be interested in your solution. One more step before we say goodbye, and I leave the floor to Charlotte to close because she is our leader of the pack. One screenshot, if everybody could turn on the camera, so we take one screenshot for social media and news. Thank you.
Thank you, Margherita. And I'll first shortly give the word to Holger because he would like to say something as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Charlotte. Thank you very much to all the startups and for all your work and your pitches. This was highly interesting and so many fascinating solutions. I wish all of you the best and good luck for the future. Thanks again.
Thanks, Holger. Yeah, also from my side, thank you very much. Great presentations today. As I said in the beginning, the bootcamp 1 year ago, you started with pitches there. And I can only agree with Margherita. You can really see the progress. You can see what you have worked on, what you have achieved in the meantime. And I'm really happy, of course, that the DigiLogic program was able to support you with such great advice and support. So thank you again. Thank you also to everyone who joined us today, the jury members, of course, but also the investors and all the visitors that were interested in the pitches and the startups. So thanks from my side, and let's keep in touch. And let's stay for the picture, Margherita. You take the command on that.
Yes. One more second, if everybody would like to be with the screen on. Okay. Few more cameras.
Sorry,
Mark,
just hold on for a second. I got kicked out. Hold on.
Okay. Yes, no problem. Okay. Green Tech Capital. Yes, I see very important investors here. They've been silently following us, but there are very interesting people in the room today listening, who listen and followed. Okay. All the cameras on. And thank you very much. And it's a bit early, but let me also say season greetings to everybody. Have some good rest, recharge, come back 2024 with great ideas, and successful 2024 to all our innovators. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.